I didn't notice you were there as I was just doing this. But, as a matter of fact, you are right on time. What do I mean by that? For what is time but a place? Think about Earth. It's a moving body just like you or I, meandering through the cosmos. Time itself is a place. For Earth itself resides in a specific place, in a specific time. So as a matter of fact, you were in the right place at the right time. I knew you'd be here because that's just the cult of our culture. It's what defines us. But what defines us is also what defines history as well. All of humanity, we are no different than our ancestors. For in what they thought caused what they saw, they understood not what they did, but they still produced the results. The things that they thought made the world work and function and move and twirl. What if us, ourselves, were indirectly causing what we observed, but thought it to be the direct cause, like baptism, curing a disease, when in fact washing the body obviously cleanses the soul and washes away the bacteria, rendering an individual healthy. So, is to be counterculture actually the common thing? When does being counterculture actually become less unique than following how it's been for all time? When is it more unique to be and do what everyone else has always done? When is counterculture actually the common thing? Art itself is something that is directly related to the intensity of what it is that we're trying to portray, what it is that we're trying to paint. Now, something which is intense draws a lot of attention, and a lot of times those that paint the best picture have their back up against the wall, and they're driven merely by passion, for they have nothing to lose. But when people have something to lose, that means that people have a lot to gain. And this attracts an audience, those that think they're savvy with what's going on, and those that are fools. We're all fools anyways. Hello? Whoa, slow down. Yeah, I know that was traumatic, but have you ever seen your grandmother who just dropped dead on the floor, then climb up your leg with a knife in her teeth? Now that's traumatic. I want you to think about what it is that you're classifying as a traumatic experience. Why do I say that? Because is traumatic experience really only relative to the conditions and the environment at hand? Does society itself actually dictate what tragic and traumatic actually is? Because let's say if everybody had their dead grandmother crawl up their leg with a knife in her mouth, then would that be a traumatic experience, as you could relay the event to everybody and they would connect with you on it? Okay, yeah, I know, I'm sorry that you cannot reach the ruffles above the stove. I will help you when I get home. Love you, bye. Now, we're feeding the soul. And what better to feed the soul with than a pillowy crust laid down on a tin platter, baked at around 375 degrees, 45 minutes, a bechamel sauce, a white wine reduction, cup of sugar, some notes and hints of an orange, dancing on the palate, sliced grapes, golden, grazing on the patches of mozzarella, some basil leaves sprinkled here and there. I once had a talk with the dictator about his dictation and how his dictionary definition didn't match what a pizza was. Call this a pizza if you want, that's what I did. But he, in fact, did not call it so. But whatever the case, it fed our souls. And at this moment, it fed our minds. So, which leads me to the case of my hair. Isn't it an odd thing that my hair grows naturally this way? But in fact, for it to be something that's functional, I need an external tool to utilize it, to manage it, to control it. Does this in fact mean that the actual organization of my being came about in an environment intertwined within my soul, within my DNA, within my own structure? Every piece of technology externalized, actually compartmentalized, and the information to create said device already within me. The phone itself and other highly advanced things already pre-programmed within my being, only until the code is actually brought about. And the gene itself is, how we say, coded for. That's what they say anyway. Other things cannot utilize what we do. So in fact, these things are directly caused by us, and mutually, they and we are one and the same. Why is it that I can't move without the approval to do so? What do I mean by that? I mean that I myself could acquire the energy necessary to provide me with the energy to move, to go about and do what it is that I need to do. But that is not the case where I am at today, because I myself must acquire my goods through a pathway already present. And to acquire the goods through the pathway that's present, I do not have what I require to make the exchange for said goods. And in doing so, I could force my way, I could force my movement, but I'll find myself in a heated situation, where then the temper is only quenched once I am beaten and hammered by the system, until I am formed into what the system and paradigm requires of me. Laws are not natural, for what is a law truly but what we cannot do? And in this, what is it that I can truly not do? People say you should or could not or shan't. But I say, truly, what is possible is the law, bar none. Yet, what are we ourselves but a natural cause of all things? And in this, everything that we ourselves cause is a natural cause itself as well. The unnatural law, merely a natural cause, which caused our natural cause, therefore rendering a man-made thing a thing of nature. It's only natural to think that the speed of the universe is anything but instantaneous. I mean, at the point in which all things came to be, all things that could be already was outlined. Everything that was will be, everything that is now. As soon as the initial point of all things to expand from was outlined and defined. And in this, what will be has already happened faster than the speed of light, faster than it could have already happened, because the set conditions for it to come about have already been defined. And in this, we feel the universe, we see it react, and we see the universe by feeling it. Is freedom a choice? And if freedom itself was not a choice, could freedom truly exist? But if freedom itself was a choice, then we would have the choice to choose for things to be not free, to have no free will. Free will demands that we have the choice to have no free will. And in the fact that we could ourselves then choose that we do not have free will, does this not itself cause direct conflict to the free will and the choice that we have been given, based directly upon our ability to choose free will itself? I'm reminded of Zeno and his paradox about the hair, for which I have plenty. But that being the case, I was driving my car and I came upon a stoplight. Now, I would be lying if I wouldn't say that I myself did not feel what Zeno himself expressed. Every moment that I approached the stoplight and I blinked, it was as if the stoplight itself moved itself further from where it already was. For is there not an infinite amount of space between all points in space? there's an infinite amount of fraction between each point on a number line. And as we ourselves descend into each of these fractions, we find an infinite and numberless amount of moments and movements towards our final destination, meaning that truly we can never find ourselves to where it is that we were trying to go. Eventually, I did reach my destination, proving that movement is itself a thing. But in this reality, in which a dream is something that exists in the universe, am I to say that logic is the overlying and ruling factor in all that is? But how can we ourselves actually know? I mean, people used to say, kick it. You get a lump on your toe, you know. How do we know that all of this is real? How do we know that we actually exist? The further that we dive into the sciences, what we find out is that there is less of things than there actually is of the thing itself. Now, knowing this, you can either fall as the concrete crumbles beneath your feet, or you can spread your wings and fly. Recognition, recognition. To recognate, the word itself is a composition, like a musical masterpiece. We have the pretext, the context, the post-text. No, please no, do not do that. Do not touch him. Don't, I will be there. You just have to wait. I have this very important thing that I'm doing now. I mean, is it really that important? Just push the button. Yes, it's right on the side of the spike. I know. Okay, all right, well, I will let you know when I'm done. Okay. Hey, you know what? Thanks for calling. I appreciate this. You know what? Sometimes I just get so caught up in what it is that I'm doing that I just forget that there are actually things going on outside of what I'm focused on at the moment. All right, yeah. Thank you. I love you too. Bye. Where were we? Oh yes, precognition. Deja vu, as it were. I mean, if all things that are going to happen have already happened, if we act as though we are shouting into the future, do we merely turn around to see a face present itself, shouting at us from the past? It's no wonder that if we're at the front of the theater, we can't actually see what's going on. In a world where the line between hero and villain is so arbitrary, only being a few hundred years, you can look that up on your own. Trust me, it's true. For what was once a villain is now a hero. Am I the villain today and the hero tomorrow? Is this merely a consequence of my freedom to choose? But do I really have the freedom to move? I mean, we ourselves were the ones that cut the cookie from the dough, and the dough was already made. Just because we don't like the way that the cookie tastes after it was made does not mean that we ourselves can judge the cookie. Oh, what's up, dude? Yeah, man, I did that last week too. Yeah, I'm planning on doing it tomorrow as well. Are you down to do it with me? I mean, we probably should go up in the mountains. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a better environment. Oh yeah, I mean, there's just so much hubbub and, a lot of noise in other places. So if we choose to do this, then we should definitely go somewhere where we aren't going to have everybody staring at us. Yeah. Okay. All right, yeah. Yeah. I'll bring the donkey. All right, yeah. Yep. Okay, I'll see you then. Love you too. Bye.
Some people tell me that I need help. Some people can f*** off and go to hell.
When you're a star, maybe you're not as bright as you think. For when we look out at the heavens, scientists now suppose that what moves the cosmos is actually what we cannot see. Is this conversation really something intellectual? I mean, we ourselves define intelligence as the direct ratio between body mass and brain size, the cavity between our ears, the space that it occupies. But is not intelligence something inherent to the molecular organization of a thing, in that a bird is intelligent, more intelligent than me, in that it can naturally fly? A whale can dive deep. The whole collective as a thing is actually acting intelligence. Now, the ability for the thing to actually exist means that it is an intelligent force to be reckoned with. But is the fact that something exists actually showcasing intelligence? For do we not learn that things that survive are merely the fittest? But what if I told you that there were things that didn't necessarily want a provocative lifestyle? They were laid back, they were chill. Do we say that intelligence is merely ferocity? The ability to overcome, outmaneuver, and to kill off other things. Are we really so much more intelligent than our dogs even? I mean, they take advantage of us, we take care of them. Who's really the slave and who's really the master here? Something gets free food, and they live a happy existence. Happier than us, I would say. We're the ones having to go out and bring back the bacon for who are dogs. I myself would rather be in the doghouse. The moment that I come home and open my door, my big Great Dane jumps upon my lap, and for those 17 seconds, I think he experiences more happiness than I'll ever experience in my entire lifetime. So, is the purpose of existence to know of existence, or to merely experience existence and to be happy about it? Who really is the more intellectual being here? We've been kind of tiptoeing around in some puddles for a moment here, but it's time to jump into those deep wells and put on our galoshes, because we're about to get real wet. Now, is water wet? I mean, think about the molecular structure of water. Is an atom actually something that's wet? And if an atom's wet, how is it that we dry it off? I don't necessarily know. But I think that we need to get down to understanding this concept, because the point in which we can actually make dry water is the point in which our civilization will ascend to peaks not even imagined by civilizations previous. So there you have it. I'll see you next time when we're there. Fun fact, did you know that tardigrades can survive a supernova in outer space? The same protective shielding which shields tardigrades from these extreme environments is found in Hans de Foucault claymation cream. 0.5% tardigrade shield microbial mechanism polymer. Get Hans de Foucault claymation today and be shielded from a supernova. Never lose your mustache hairs again. Hans de Foucault. For every twist of the stash And every like that you hit, you yourself will have liked what you liked. Can we get 50 likes, people? Every time you smash that motherfucking like button, a grandma will walk again. A cripple will lose their crutches. The blind will see. You yourself will have liked what it is that you like. And in so doing, we ourselves find that life itself is more than just liking things. But can we get 5 trillion likes and 5 million mustache twirls? You know, I've been twisting my mustache for years now. But while everyone else is out listening to Drake, do you want to know what I've been listening to? Paul Simon, because he's good. Well, I'll tell you what. For every like that this video gets, a radio station loses its ability to broadcast Drake. You want to know what I think of when I think of Drake? I think of the fact that his name includes the word rake in it. What do we do with rakes? Work. Who likes work? Nobody. Who likes Drake? Nobody. God's plan? I don't know. You tell me. World peace, everybody. World peace. And on that note, I bid you adieu.